So hello and welcome everybody on the webinar today. Thank you so much for being here. I'm your host, Marina. We are excited to dive into Master Multi-Account Integration, Streamline your inventory and grow your business. This webinar is for online store owners and fintech professionals looking to streamline their e-commerce operations, and for anyone wanting to ditch QuickBooks or Xero for a more profitable solution. So if you're interested and want to learn more, please reach out to info@flowlink.io or info@softledger.com, and we'd love to hear from you. So we are recording this webinar, and it will be available on the New Realm website, as well as FlowLink, and it'll be available in the follow-up email. So we encourage you to put questions in the Q&A section for Ben and Sam to answer later on. So before we begin, I just want to quickly introduce the presenters on the call. So Sam Shaban is CEO of FlowLink, a decade-old premier e-commerce integration platform that helps clients integrate their online stores with all of the other components of their business, including systems for accounting, shipping, ERP, CRM, logistics, and a long list of other needs. And Sam has been building software for business enterprises, nonprofits, and educational organizations since founding FlowLink's parent company, New Realm, in 1999. That's kind of why I said New Realm earlier. But yes, the webinar will be available on FlowLink. But some fun facts about Sam: he likes to build mid-century modern furniture, and he likes to garden with his 88-year-old mom, which I think is adorable. And next we have Ben Taylor, who is our CEO and co-founder of SoftLedger. SoftLedger is cloud accounting software designed for small and medium enterprises upgrading from QuickBooks or Xero. Ben is a CPA with more than 10 years of very public and private accounting experience. He's led many complex financial projects to successful outcomes. And Ben began his career at Ernst & Young, followed by in-house management roles at Fannie Mae and other public companies. And Ben lives in Pittsburgh near the Pirates Stadium and tries to make it to as many games as possible with his wife and 2 young kids. And of course, he loves to travel, but it can be pretty hard with 2 youngins. And finally on the call, we have Kayla, who is our awesome Q&A manager and will be reading your questions at the end. Thanks for sticking through the housekeeping here. With that, I'll go ahead and turn it over to Sam.
All right. Hey, everybody. Let's jump right in. First, I'll tell you why we propose that, along with great customer service, we think great automation, including accounting automation, really is the foundation of every successful online store. We'll talk about why most automation solutions out there can be pretty bad, and then Ben and I will share the crucial elements that SoftLedger and FlowLink add, which makes them what we think the perfect tools for businesses like yours. Finally, we'll share some bold claims about the potential to save money and increase your profit, and we'll show you how it all works. First, I just want to make sure this presentation is for you. You're selling online, you know how to treat your clients well, so well, in fact, that you're growing. And if that's you, you're probably also getting stretched pretty thin by the tedious manual labor that comes with growth, with accounting and all the other systems that you need to manage your operations. This is a time when a lot of folks typically think about transitioning from their smaller operations accounting tools to bigger tools and start getting really kind of bogged down with all the work that comes with every order that comes in. So maybe you don't think a lot of it can be automated, or maybe you've tried other ways to do it that haven't worked. And if that's you, this presentation, I think, is going to be super helpful. So stick with us, and hopefully you'll get a lot out of this. So if you're still here based on that intro of who we think you ought to be, or who you think you are, let's take a look at a few ideas. You've got an online store, and you're considering how to improve your accounting, but you also have a lot of other tools that help manage, customer relationships, support clients, ship products, and market your store, and manage, billing and money. So automation tools, what we're going to talk about, and part of what we'll talk about when we discuss soft ledger, integrate and connect these things and streamline your processes within each tool. Doing that well, we think really is the secret of the best online retailers. It's not just the products, it's how you manage that business. And we'll tell you why we think that is. So let me explain. Let's look at the difference between not much automation and really great automation. And let's compare that with having not much customer service versus really great customer service. So, this bottom left corner is the place that nobody wants to be. Not great customer service, not great automation. This results in too much work and then very little love from your clients. So we definitely don't want to be there. But I suspect that most of you are here because you've moved over to the right, where you've got great customer service and happy customers and new business that's resulted from it. But this has really meant, even more work. And we think this is definitely better than the bad customer service quadrant, a lot better, but we think it can be improved quite a bit. So the mistake that a lot of retailers make is jumping into this upper left-hand corner where they use automation to reduce customer interaction as much as they can. And that does result in growth, but it also comes with lower margins, less loyal clients. This might be scalable, but it's easy to replicate. It comes with low margins and clients who aren't really that loyal. In other words, it feels a lot like a commodity. So, we think the secret to real online success lives in this upper right corner where you've got automation in all the right places. Your accounting tools are automated in such a way that you're able to do the basic things that you need to do for every order very efficiently. And this kind of lines everything up for you. You've got loyal clients who love your brand. You've got a business that can scale up without keeping you up late and away from your family. And then, people like you, clients like you. So that results in higher margins because you actually are connecting with those clients who love your business. So this is the kind of business that we'll refer to as a scalable boutique. It feels like a boutique, but it's really very scalable, and it's not something where you've got to really stay up every second to work on every single element of the business yourself. We think this is the recipe for great online stores. You already have what it takes to provide great customer service, and it's hard, but you figured that part of it out. So now we'll talk about how Soft Ledger and FlowLink can take you to the next level on the automation side. But here's the secret. This formula is also the recipe for a great accounting tool and a great e-commerce automation tool. And it's where we differentiate ourselves at Soft Ledger and FlowLink. So let's start out by looking at how Soft Ledger compares with some of the tools you may be familiar with, and I'll hand it over to Ben to talk through this slide.
Oh, thanks, Sam. Appreciate that background and kind of leading into this. To summarize, the growing successful businesses, you all of a sudden have a lot of volume, and that's where things start to break, and where you really need to think about incorporating automation into your process to scale that same level of boutique service that is easier to do when you're small. And so there are a few different areas where this becomes clear in the accounting system, and one is pretty clear, is multi-entity consolidation. So if you have multiple business entities and you need to consolidate them, that is probably a manual error-prone process in a bookkeeping system. So that is one area where we provide a single pane where all of your entities can live, and you can see all of your financials in real time in that system. And then analytics from there, having the ability to drill in and slice and dice your data in different ways. That is something that gets more important as your volume grows. When you have one product not such a big deal. But when you have 3 products and each product is producing $1 million plus in revenue, you need to know what the details behind each product to inform what business decisions you make. So that's where the analytics and reporting come in, and then having an audit trail and other controls. That's just something that becomes much more important as you grow, and you need to incorporate those into a system. Otherwise, they're manual, and manual processes are error prone and not very easy to automate. And then finally, this is where we kind of connect with FlowLink, is the integration. So you have these orders that are being processed on your online store. How are those getting into your accounting system? Any friction in that process causes problems. Like you'll hear us probably say errors and manual that come from manual processes a few times on this webinar. I've also referred to it as the swivel chair integration, where you're typing in one system, typing in the other, and things just don't work sometimes. And then customers don't get their order on time. They're upset, and that is something that is solved via integration, and while focusing on automating that great customer service.
Cool. Spoken like someone who's been through the pain of not having these things as a CPA doing this for a decade.
Yep. That's where it started. Yep.
Cool.
Yeah. You can get into why most automation tools are not so great.
maybe sucks strongly. Maybe it's true. On the e-commerce automation side, this is how most e-commerce automation tools work. You sign up, you see some great marketing, and you sign up to test drive the tool. You log into a self-service tool where you hope to set up automations that work as well as the kind of one-dimensional demos shown in their marketing. You get 80% of it done, maybe 90%, and then something doesn't work. You can't automate something that's critical to what you want to do. The tool just won't do the remaining work. There's nobody around to help you, or if they're around, they're not gonna update, make the updates to make that happen. And then you kind of give up. And this is something we've seen quite a bit from new clients that come over to New Realm. We've seen this over and over again. And in fact, many of our clients come to us from situations like this. And that's why we built FlowLink to fix this problem by offering, a great automation tool, but really customer service that you need to build a real life automation. And I think, Ben, you could probably tell a similar story about Soft Ledger, where, I don't know, I think one of the things that strikes me is you let somebody who wants to go behind the scenes and see what the journal entries are that are associated with every transaction, instead of sort of hiding everything, so you can actually figure out what's happening and understand what the system's doing.
Yeah, exactly. So trying to give this to simplify, but provide all the details behind every transaction, provide an easy path to drill into everything, and get on calls as needed as you have to work through things, but also provide all the self-service guides that you need if you want to just go and figure things out on your own as well. So I think that's a key part of this as well.
Cool. And that's definitely that getting on the phone when you need it is the part that the kind of smaller business accounting tools that are out there certainly do not want to provide.
Absolutely. It can be hard to find a human sometimes.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, again, starting with the FlowLink side, our approach at FlowLink reflects a deliberate effort to include more, real people to help you through the complex process of automating your store. Instead of just kind of pretending that you can click a few buttons and create this customized, sophisticated automation that you need to build your scalable boutique. Our process actually includes, people, and those people are seasoned e-commerce developers at every step. Our team works through your needs really before you even sign up. We have a discovery process first. And then an e-commerce professional, once you do sign up, is dedicated to your onboarding process, ensuring that your automations will work in the real world and they're really tailored to you. And then these are the same people who actually built FlowLink, not kind of low-level support techs. We keep working closely with our clients until they actually launch their automation system. And then, once again, these are the same people who built FlowLink. So, this includes more complex automations. In the title, we mentioned keeping inventory synced up, which is like a really tricky problem for a lot of retailers. How do you keep your store's inventory synced up with your real inventory, particularly if you're selling in more than one place? And those are the kind of problems we help people kind of sort through when they're figuring out how to set these automations up. So let's take another look at this formula to success. So, I maintain this is the secret formula to becoming a top online retailer, which will help you achieve as well as to being a top e-commerce automation system like FlowLink or an accounting tool like SoftLedger. So on the FlowLink side, we want to share the results of an automation platform that we've been refining and improving for a decade, combined with a team of seasoned e-commerce pros who actually want to talk to you rather than avoiding calls like most software as a service companies. And I think, the thing that one of the things that we share with SoftLedger is we built this tool in response to doing the actual integration work as an integrator. So we tried to sort of refine all the things that we thought were challenging into a system that kind of automates most of that, so that instead of spending, $30,000 or $40,000 creating automations, or maybe more, you could spend a couple of thousand or less initially, and then just kind of pay for a service that kind of gets all that stuff done. And I think that's a similar thread that runs through what SoftLedger has done.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, just echoing that, SoftLedger was built out of frustration with existing accounting systems by accountants for accountants, and merging the two together is really the benefit there is you get this automation that scales.
And maybe I should have said that on this slide, but this kind of explains, that as Marina mentioned earlier, FlowLink is owned by our parent company, New Realm. New Realm is a custom mobile app and web app development company and e-commerce development company. So we've done this kind of work for actually a decade and 2.5 decades. We've been doing this for about 25 years. So we really distilled a lot of what we found to be problematic from, hundreds, thousands of clients probably. How do we take a 400-hour project and turn it into a 20-hour project is kind of the place that we came from when we thought about this. All right, so maybe let's look at some bold claims, and I'm pretty confident that these are actually pretty low estimates, but we think that these first few are pretty easy. Based on over a decade of experience between both FlowLink and SoftLedger, we know we can help clients save at least one employee worth of tedious work per year. And often that employee worth of time is really overtime put in by a business owner or somebody probably like whoever's watching this this presentation, which can be better spent on more strategic work, or better yet, by not working so much. So, as I described on previous slides, the secret to scaling your store, along with building more loyal client base that's not as price sensitive, is really building the perfect balance of customer service, which you know how to do, and real life automation, which we're here to help out with. So we really think these are sort of minimums that you can achieve with a good accounting and automation system. So on the FlowLink side, let's take a look at what this actually looks like. As we've discussed, we combine real e-commerce experts with an automation platform that we've perfected over a decade. Before you sign up to use FlowLink, we provide a free in-depth needs assessment where we work with you to understand the critical automations that you have to build. And then once we agree on those initial automations, our new clients are taken care of by a dedicated onboarding engineer. So it's not a low-level tech, as I mentioned before, but a member of the same development team that builds and maintains FlowLink. We test out your workflows thoroughly before they go live, but we understand that the work's kind of just getting started. So we work closely with you on launch to maintain these workflows. That's kind of where the rubber meets the road. And then finally, our Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania-based team will be here to support you through this process and throughout the life of the store. So we really try to think about the whole process, not just kind of here's the login, go to it. Ben, is there anything you want to add before we move on?
No, I think that this is great. A lot of this is more in the operations realm of, and that's why we're excited to have this partnership in place with FlowLink, given all of the experience and the operational aspects being so important. And we just like FlowLink, we're based in Pittsburgh as well, and yeah, we just our goal throughout all this is to stitch the accounting in so that it's seamless and it supports this, and you feel unshackled to grow your business. And the other thing actually I'll mention too is that when we think about cost savings too, we didn't even talk about the potential loss that can come from just not having certainty into your inventory balances and how you're fulfilling orders, and all that connected together can, it's really for an e-commerce business, your accounting actually becomes pretty critical to your operations in a way that some other businesses like a software as a service business, it's not quite the same for accounting. Obviously, it's always important, but it's really, really critical for a company that is selling physical things.
Cool. Just a quick note on how some of these things work. I won't spend too much time on the details, but although our team will set up FlowLink to your real life specs, we do provide a user interface that makes it easy to understand and kind of monitor the things that we just talked about behind the scenes. So, your workflows can be as simple as sending orders to an accounting system or as complex as you require. So for example, you may want to sync inventory between your store soft ledger and inventory management system, or even do things like trigger automatic purchase orders to vendors to restock items once they're low, or maybe trigger shipments from a third-party logistics provider, which we do that with a lot of our clients. So if you can imagine it, there's a pretty good chance that you can automate it. And then, for those of you who are interested in the details, FlowLink and Soft Ledger both have their ways to let you drill down as deep as you like on any transaction to kind of actually see what's happening behind the scenes, or you can let the system handle it all for you. FlowLink provides a centralized notification system, options to integrate it with tools that you use the most, like maybe Slack or email. If you get an error, maybe that error goes to a Slack channel, or I don't know, sends your operations manager a text message in the middle of the night. Maybe that's not as ideal as a Slack channel, but that way when there's a problem before your customers do it, and that's really critical. So I think I hope this is a good overview of kind of how integration and automation can help. The right combination of that can help you build your online store, and why it's really kind of the foundation of a good online store, and why Soft Ledger and FlowLink can kind of help you do that. This is a short presentation. We hope you all have some questions that we can answer. We wanted to really kind of skim, and we also hope that folks can tell us a little bit about what they'd like to hear later, so that we can build our next presentation around what people actually want to hear. So I think with that, we'll just kind of mention that we can each provide free consultation, give you some advice before you have to buy anything. We're not high pressure sales folks here, so if you take another approach, that's okay. Please give us a shout, info@softledger.com or info@flowlink.io if you want to talk more. But at this point, we'll be very happy to take some questions.
Yeah, and thank you so much, Sam and Ben. And Kayla is going to take it away from here with the Q&A.
Hey, yeah, thank you, Marina, and thank you, Sam and Ben. This has been awesome. If anyone does have any questions that they're holding on to, please feel free to put them in the Q&A, and I'll make sure that we get around to them and get the answers that you're looking for. So we do have some questions as well surrounding Soft Ledger. Ben, this will probably be for you. So we did a little bit into how Soft Ledger differs from QuickBooks, for instance, but how does it really differ from QuickBooks? One thing that's frustrating about QuickBooks or Xero is that you often feel like they're hiding what's going on. It's harder to get a single pane view. How does Soft Ledger provide a more accountant-friendly view if you want it?
Sure, no, yeah, great question. So we, by taking this, as this was built out of frustration with existing accounting tools by accountants, we've kind of gone right into the transactional details. So you can always see what if anything has financial impact, there's a journal entry behind it. You can drill into that. You can drill into any related orders or invoices or inventory movements. That's all just a couple clicks away. And that was very deliberate because while bookkeeping platforms can often be more approachable if you're not if you just want to keep things very simple, as you grow, you need to kind of move from the liken it to like the Squarespace. You start with your website in Squarespace, and then as you grow as a company, you might get a WordPress developer in to really get the website exactly how you want. It's similar with your accounting system. Is when you need the tool for experts. That's what we've designed Soft Ledger for. Obviously, trying to make it as easy as possible still to get on board and get going, which is, I think, shown through in our customer stories.
Awesome. Great. Well, we do have a question that just popped up. Is there a list of fintech APIs and integrations that Soft Ledger is capable of integrating and onboarding?
Yes, we have a marketplace. I don't know if we have this on our website, but there are several integrations with more coming every day, including FlowLink that we host and yeah, with kind of all the core functionality, AP, AR, inventory management, order management are all rounded out as part of that marketplace. And you can build custom low code integrations as well with some tools like Google Sheets and other general purpose apps like that.
Great. Cool. Well, so let's say I am the persona coming in here and I'm fully on QuickBooks, and I want to pursue this awesome, solution of Soft Ledger and FlowLink together. Is it complicated to switch over if I do?
Well, it's not like pushing a button like Sam said, but it is as straightforward and simple as a process as you can get to getting to the ultimate ideal solution. So yeah, I don't, Sam, if you'd add anything there. Obviously, this is
Yeah, that's definitely one of the problems we help folks solve a lot is this migration issue. So we do a lot of work with QuickBooks integrations. QuickBooks Desktop in particular is quite painful to integrate, but we've gotten quite good at it. So we know how to pull the data out of QuickBooks Desktop so that we can push it into Soft Ledger. So that's the part of the migration that really hurts. Once you've got everything set up in Soft Ledger and you're ready to use it, is getting your data over. So definitely a problem we can help with. And like Ben said, it's not an easy clickety click problem, but it's something that that's the kind of thing that we sort of specialize in.
Cool. Awesome. Well, let's say we want more workflows more tools added to our workflow. Can we integrate multiple third-party products to create our full workflow?
Definitely, yeah. Multi tool workflows are kind of one of the other tougher cases that we kind of put forward as something that we're really good at. That's when it gets really complicated. Like if you've got, let's say you're selling in a couple of different places and you need to sync the inventory all back to one central tool like Soft Ledger. That's the kind of thing that's definitely got some pitfalls, and those are pitfalls that we're familiar with and good at integrating. So for sure, that's when things get tough. Like instead of using let's say you're using Shopify, instead of you going to their marketplace and just kind of clicking like one integration, when you have these multiple interacting integrations that you need, that's when we can really sort of add a lot of value, helping figure out how to make those things work together without stepping on each other's toes.
Awesome. Great. Yeah. And on that note too, as far as things that are multiply working together, how does multi-entity and currency work for my online shop front, especially for operating globally?
Sure. Yeah. So you have the ability to with these transactions set what the currency is for that transaction, independent of the reporting currency for any of your entities. And so having that all for anyone that's dealt with multiple currencies, they know that that gets tricky really, really fast, even with only a few currencies involved. And so, yeah, we automate the remeasurement and translation of currencies for the multiple entities as you consolidate. And so that's a very difficult thing to do if you have it in multiple systems and need to do that part manually.
Right. Awesome. Let's see. Cool. Well, we know that for setup, NetSuite can cost a lot. For instance, how does Soft Ledger handle onboarding, and what would the process look like?
Sure, and I think this is we follow a similar cadence to FlowLink in that we offer a more approachable, quicker, easier path forward than I think a lot of legacy ERPs. It's a much more protracted process. It takes months. You have to make a lot of decisions. Feels like those decisions are written in blood. You can't change them. That is where we differ. Is we provide a very approachable, very easy to learn tool. Our average implementation time is around 45 days. That can be a little bit longer depending on how much history is coming in. If we're doing a complex e-commerce store, could take a little bit longer, but that's on average is 45 days, which is a lot less time than legacy ERPs. So we've carefully thought that through from the beginning, how to make that as easy as possible for everyone and as quick as possible.
Great.
Cool. I wonder, Ben, if you could talk briefly. We talked about this a lot, but maybe you could describe, there's sort of this no man's land between the accounting tools, the small business tools that we all know, where you're paying $100 a month, and then suddenly there's $100,000 integration onboarding fee, and things get much more expensive. Like I think you guys are squarely in that middle, but for some reason there are not a lot of folks there. I think that's one of the great appeals, is that you're able to help people through that transition.
Yeah, that's exactly right. Yeah, thanks, Sam, for pointing that out. We believe, our belief going into building Soft Ledger was it is possible to take a lot of the good stuff that exists in mid-market ERPs that does not exist in bookkeeping systems, and make them easy enough to use that you can get on board and get it going yourself. You don't need a lot of help from consultants on for $100,000 implementation, and then on an ongoing basis. Not that you don't need any help, but just make that a lot easier, a lot more straightforward. Give a path towards taking it over yourself, and automating everything that you can. I think that's really that's the approach we've taken, and our view is there is something in the middle. You can do that, and I think again, it's taken years to get to the place where we are at, but you can see through customer testimonials on our reviews and some of the case studies we have on our website that is what ultimately shines through.
Great, thank you. Yeah. Well, as a last question, really to wrap it up, for either Ben or Sam, how does this complete soft ledger full link solution grow my e-commerce business as a result?
Sam, I'll let you take that one. I think that's in your wheelhouse.
I think it's well, we think it's this combination of automating the right things, but providing the right level of customer service. So we both know how to automate all the things that we found through a lot of hard trials and tribulations need to be or could be automated or are very painful if they're not. But we also understand that we have to actually talk to people and support our clients. So we really think that we provide that, but we think that that combination of customer service and automating the right stuff is the secret to a really good online store. So we will help you with that automation piece so that that's done correctly so that you can focus on the customer service piece. And we really believe that that's the kind of gold standard for all the really good stores out there. Think of all the great online stores that you like. There's they work well. The tools on those stores work well. Your order doesn't get goofed up often or ever, but there's a feeling of like real people behind that store. So we think we can help you with that automation piece through providing those same things, and then we leave it up to you for the customer service side of things.
Great.
Yeah, thank you.
Jinx. Just
If
kidding.
anyone has any more Q&A questions, please go ahead and submit them. Otherwise, Marina, I'll hand it off to you.
All right. Sounds good. Yes. Thanks all. I think that'll do it for today. If there will be a survey at the end when the webinar ends. So if you just let us know where, how you found out about this and like we'd love to hear from you, what feedback you have, and what you'd like to, if there's a subject that you'd like to hear about next, like what should we dive into next? So, again, thanks everybody. A recording of this will be sent out to you in a follow-up email. So I hope that you enjoy your day. Bye-bye.
Bye, everybody. Thanks.
Yeah.